Tiga.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Adie Razkia. I'm from the class 12 Science 1. Today I want to present my work about the recent types of Baltic infants. So Baltic infants is a 2023 American history film that was produced and directed by Minat from a screenplay by Michael Green, loosely based on Agatha Christie 1969 novel Halloween Party. This movie was released in the United States on September 15, 2023 by the 20th Century Studios. The genre of this film are horror and mystery. The duration of this movie is about 103 minutes long, and this movie has received an award for the best horror or thriller at the HMMA Award 2023. In 1947, Hercule Poirot, the detective, lived in retirement in Venice. On Halloween, mystery writer, Mrs. Oliver, convinced Poirot to attend the Halloween party and seance at the Palazzo of famed opera singer Rowena Drake, and to expose that Mrs. Joyce Reynolds, a World War I nurse, turned into medium as a fraud. The palazzo itself was claimed to be haunted by the spirits of the children who were locked up and left to die when the spirits tormented any nurses and doctors who dared to enter. So Mrs. Joyce Reynolds performed a seance hoping to contact the spirit of the opera singer's daughter. Rowena has hired famed medium Joyce Reynolds to conduct a ceremony. Mrs. Oliver, whose past 3 books have booked, wanted to throw prose into the action to get some new materials for her writing. And by the skeptic, Poirot didn't believe in medium, but he agreed to tag along to prove that Mrs. Joyce Reynolds was a fraud. But in contrary, Mrs. Joyce Reynolds believed that the killer who killed the opera singer's daughter was actually among them, so she continued to speak with the spirits profoundly. Poirot wasted a long time sussing out how Mrs. Joyce Reynolds used two assistants singing to Desdemona and Nicholas to fake making the contact with the dead. And as the storm raged outside, Poirot locked everyone in attendance inside the estate, and the pool of detective mode in Poirot was acted out. And when Mrs. Joyce Reynolds was thrown from a balcony and impaled by a statue, the story truly get underway. So, after the scenes of sex occurred during the storyline, the killer who killed the opera singer's daughter was actually Rowena Drake. It tells us that she had poisoned her daughter to keep her feeble and childlike and to prevent her from leaving the house and getting married. Based on the director of IMDb's opinion, Mary Jackson said that Kenneth Branagh's latest adaptation leaned further into more horror than 2 previous Poirot films, which is The Murder on the Orient Express and The Death on the Nile. The decision to keep lean forward into horror was in keeping character approachment. As for how Haunting in Venice tone compared with Branagh's past outings as Hercule Poirot, the third installment is essentially a ghost story that heightens the tension between its characters. The mood here is more defined by its sense of supernatural weariness and less by the central of murder. The characters also tend to be more serious, which enhances the horror aspect of the film, and which is more making this film more unsettling and more popular. That is based on James McBurgh's analysis. And the story itself is very formulaic and relentlessly clever. According to director James Pritchard, this movie was to preserve the atmosphere of the movie because some of the fear you see is genuine. I went into this movie expecting it to be a good mystery film, but surprisingly, I watched it with something much more than that. A beautiful thrilling production story with amazing writing and a beautiful cinematography I've never seen, and the beautiful and astonishing of the visual design of this movie. And this is something that needs to be played in the theaters for its visuals and sound design alone. Also, the character is also incredible. Each character is written so well, and the leading character, which is Hercule Poirot, is such an enjoyable leading role. If you are the person who likes mystery or horror film, then the film will amaze you. Kenneth Branagh's expertise in playing detective in this movie will amaze the audience. If you watch it in a cinema, it will have you a good experience. That's all from me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.